Through these members and their companies, we're able to spread the idea of equal opportunities to a lot of big employers in this country. And big employers can really have an impact on transforming their own teams into more open teams. And more big companies realize that diversity is good for business, that without it, actually their management team is more vulnerable, is less sustainable, and consumers cannot be served competitively. Last year, therefore, we really decided to focus and concentrate on helping companies to transform themselves. For example, we started our HR expert group. It is led by Judith Szalóki-Tóth of Boyden. And the aim of this group is to help the HR professionals and HR directors to transform their own company, to learn about the subject of diversity, to see the best practices from other companies, for example. And Judith very successfully assembled more than 40 really strong leading company HR directors, who among them actually have already a lot of experience on how to transform organizations. We also started our entrepreneurs group. It is led by Anna Maria Varga, who is the owner of Multibutor Kft. And here we're trying to support female entrepreneurs. We also do a lot of research. So thanks for our amazing sponsors, because we couldn't do that without our sponsors. These results help, again, companies to build better performing teams and happier teams. In 2019, we launched our first research on how companies in Hungary help their female talent to succeed within their own organization. It was sponsored by the MOL Group, and you can actually find it if you're interested in it on our website. And this February, we launched our research on the relationship of sport and leadership and women leaders. We did that together with Ernst & Young and the University of Sports. Really thanks for their support and collaboration. And we had such success that actually more than 70 mediums covered it and gave reports on it. TVs, radios, press publications, online publications. So we are very, I think we touched upon something that was extremely exciting. How can sport help women to succeed at work and actually get into leadership position? And how can it help for them to keep that leadership position? As we know, it's not so easy to be in leadership as a woman. And right after my speech and Gabriela Liptai's speech, we're also going to show some results of our upcoming third research, where we looked at top executive search process and also why still so few women are being selected for top positions at big companies. This research is sponsored by Henkel, the beauty company, Lee Hecht Harrison, the HR consulting company, Magyar Telekom, and the MOL Group. We will also publish white papers based on these findings, as I believe it's important information for companies who want to hire women into top jobs, but were unable to do so far. But we have always been known for the great network we grow. We have around 400 leading women and more men actually today, who are all committed to spread the word on equality and to help spread our beliefs through their for their activities at their companies as well. These people, especially at big companies, can have really big impact on our society. Over the years, we had events where we learned about the subject of equal opportunities, and we never failed to have fun at the same time as well. So for those of you who joined us in the last year and could never be at one of our fun events, I can assure you that they are really at amazing places with great topics. We go to Párizsi Udvar Hotel, or we go to the amazing offices of Loffice co-working space. And our annual picnic on the Margaret Island on the Lawn is always a huge success. I think it was the biggest in 2020 though, when we were all just so happy to get out of the first lockdown. But of course, we don't only have fun and educational networking events. Last year, we introduced a new series called Heart Talk. It's a series of serious talking events. We spoke about fear of COVID, fear as a woman in management among a lot of men at the top. And next week, we are talking about the infamous new Hungarian children's storybook that tries to change or try to change the stereotypes in this country. It is very, very important to start to change the stereotypes very early on in children's life. And we will bring up more hard to talk about topics in this series this year as well. And of course, we are talking and we are trying to talk to ministers as well. We scheduled a meeting with Katalin Novák for this Thursday, but unfortunately, because of all the lockdowns, we had to cancel it and we couldn't go into her office to have a roundtable discussion as we were planning. But we do have hope that after the restrictions are lifted, we can still do this. So absolutely watch this space. We concentrate on companies and company leaders because they can bring and manage change very quickly, more quickly than governments or society. But companies often lack the knowledge of diversity and inclusion because it's a new topic. For this reason, we actually introduced trainings and consulting services for supporting companies who want to start a journey towards equal opportunity, to become an equal opportunity employer. But we have more plans for 2021. And having mentioned talks with ministers and the Hard Talk series, talking about taboo subjects, we have more. Right after this conference in March, we are launching a new group, a new expert group, which is going to be the sustainability group. Of course, for leading this group, we asked two amazing experts in sustainability, and I would like to ask them now to introduce themselves. So I cannot see that part of the screen right now, but Dóra Fazekas, if you're here, please take over and introduce yourself very briefly.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, yeah.
Good morning, everyone. And thanks, Edina, for inviting us for this opportunity. And I recently joined the Egyenlítő Alapítvány and look forward to meeting you all in person. And we're planning our first sustainability meeting to take place outside after the spring break. And just to give you a little bit background about myself and Zsófi, who we are going to lead this group together. So I'm an economist. We are both economists by training. We know each other from the university. And I have been working in sustainability since finishing my degrees. I have been working in environmental economics, dealing with climate policy and sustainable investment. So I would be looking at the sustainability issues more from a macro point of view. I'm also leading the Budapest office of a research consultancy called Cambridge Econometrics, and we do macroeconomic impact assessments for governments and international organizations and the European Commission. And we launched we are launching the sustainability working group and had a questionnaire which some of you have answered, and it was a very interesting insight. Maybe after, if I don't know, Edina, if you want to talk about the issues we would tackle, and but definitely what sustainability means for us, for you, what does it mean in your personal lives, in your working lives. And circular economy came up as well, and the ESG, which is a new topic, and what sustainability means in terms of ranking companies, for example. And on the other side, I would let you, Zsófi, to talk about yourself and what you bring to the table. And thanks, Edina.
Thank you, Dóra.
Thank you, Dóra. Yeah, I'm here. Thanks, Dóra, and thanks, Edina. I had to contemplate whether I should be facing the sun or you should see the ropes behind me, and I decided to choose the sun. And so I am a sustainability, and I am an independent sustainability expert, working mainly on corporate sustainability at the moment, but I also have been working on a number of projects with relating to government strategies and also a number of social issues. My background is, as Dori also said, I'm an economist by training, but I've been working in the field of diplomacy for over 15 years. And it's because of sustainability that I actually decided to make the switch to solely working on sustainability. Because while I was working in New York as a diplomat, I had the luck of participating in the preparation of the Sustainable Development Goals. I'm sure many of you have heard of it and are using the framework. So I had the privilege of working on the goals itself, drafting the goals, and it has really paved the way of my thinking and how I'm working now. So I'm very happy that we are putting together the working group on sustainability here, because I think that it's very important to spread the word and also to help as many people in as many sectors as possible. I'm really hoping that I can help you find your own sustainability path, whether you are in your corporate, whether you need it in your corporate level or corporate work, or whether it's in your personal life. In the questionnaire that Dora mentioned, it shows that you're interested in both. So we will try to have an equilibrium on the issues, and we'll get back to you on how we will further work on that. On my personal life, I'm also trying to have as much impact as possible. So I started a podcast called Körforgásban a couple of months ago, and luckily Edina has already been our guest, and we talked about women empowerment, but our last episode was actually on CEOs and sustainability. So if you have any issues that you want to cover, that's also an option where we can work together. Thanks, Edina, for trusting us with this job, and we hope to fulfill this big step that you've provided the space for us.
Thank you very much. And I'm sure we're going to do a great job. You're going to do a great job. And I hope that more and more of you can join us in this group as well. You can find more information on our website about it, of course, and we're going to send out more information as well. So you will be able to join if you want. Even if you don't want to join the foundation, you could decide to just join this group. As I mentioned, we have concentrated on big companies and companies so far. But in order to achieve change in our society, I think we need to get to individuals sooner or later as well. So we are going to start to look at how we can connect with young women in Hungary, young women who have just started their career or maybe just at the beginning of their career, because they can often get mixed up. They are getting mixed messages from society, for their families, for the grandparents, from media around the world. And I know from myself, from experience as well, when you're starting out your career and you just before starting your family, you can have a bit of a hesitation. Can I do both? Can I have a family and can I have a career at the same time as a woman? We would like to enable generations to come behind us to be able to live happy family lives while actually working and achieving success at work. We actually believe that it is very, very important to have a purpose in your life. We would also like them not to have to compromise on equal rights for men and women at work and in the family as well. And we found that one of the best models actually in the world is the Nordic family model. That we have seen, this is probably the best we have seen working in the world, right, in real life. There could be other models, but nothing else is really visible yet and tested. So we have decided to cooperate with experts of the Nordic countries and to engage young career women into conversation about their desired family and work model. And Katarina Szécsi-Ásbrink of the Swedish Embassy will speak about our joint plans in the second half of this conference at about 11:40. So if you're interested in that, please come back or stay, better still stay till then. But now I would really like to pass on the baton, and I would really like to ask Gabriela Liptai, Communications and PR Director of KPMG, but also, for me, even more importantly, the President of the Board of Trustees of the Foundation. Let us know.
I'm here. Hello.
Good.
Hi.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay. Hello to everybody. Sziasztok, egyenlítősök. I would like to talk now briefly to you as the Board of Trustees. As Edina said, we have a new board now at Egyenlítő. So I would like to talk about that, how we are working in the foundation as Edina mentioned, engaging companies as also individuals in order to have more people around us who believe in men's and women's equal work opportunity and enabling us to maximize the effect we have. Today, you know that women and men do not receive equal opportunities in their professional lives. But with the help of the science by now, has worked enough on figuring out most of the reasons, the roots of our biased, sometimes biased behavior. And we had many researchers, scholars, also here at Egyenlítő, who studied and understood the obstacles women face at work. Therefore, today, we have means to change this. So in terms of careers, equal opportunity between men and women is relatively a new topic in our history. So let's admit that, let's say 15 years back or 15 years ago, most of us never have heard and phased out this problem, and we wouldn't have done anything to promote it. Why didn't we did it? Because we haven't even noticed the problem. Therefore, we didn't explore it. We couldn't have understood it. So this relatively short history, many means that this subject is completely different. So it's a bit like mask wearing when the start of COVID. There was not enough information, the knowledge was not enough, and more misinformation was around. So in a way, let's say that we have the same now with the topic of equal opportunities. There are huge differences even among the companies that somehow feel the pressure to promote the topic of equal opportunity in terms of their existing commitment, how seriously they talk about it, or even how they take actions. Let's say that on one end, the spectrum, we have those who completely ignore or deny the problem, while at the other end, we have some positive discrimination within our companies and introduction of quotas. The Egyenlítő Foundation, as Edina said, would have or would like to have companies who want to head down this path. We want to work together with all companies who believe in this topic and actively want to pursue it. KPMG Hungary is one of that firm, which I also represent here today. And we are actually working alongside with the foundation many years back on various levels. And for example, we conducted a survey last year among CEOs, among women CEOs, that seeks their opinion on future economic and corporate prospects. We ask and evaluate also female CEOs in this service, partly because we devote special attention to them, and because we were curious, whether they think differently to their main counterparts in the CEO chair with regard to certain issues. We carried out this survey last year, like almost every year, and Egyenlítő Foundation reached out for us most female chief executive officers. So thank you for Egyenlítő for this cooperation. As a token of our gratitude, this year, let's say one day after the International Women's Day, we are sending to all participants these results and analysis of this KPMG Female Leaders Outlook survey. And we look forward to welcoming you, these members of the foundation. I hopefully can give this invitation to you as a face-to-face event on the 18th of May, where we would like to invite you to discuss these topics on the basis of the research. But let me turn back to Egyenlítő Foundation. So we want to work with companies, with your companies, and what we expect from this managing directors and managers, that if you are on the path of this equal opportunity, probably you have the situation, or you have the knowledge, but not the enough knowledge how to go through. I say this because we know that we can count on one hand that how many companies in Hungary have their professional and trained diversity specialists. I don't think that we have many. At the same time, we as managers or HR managers or communication managers or managing directors sometimes get the task to go further, and sometimes we entrusted to prepare these kind of plans or strategies or programs and training maybe in this field, but we don't have the special experts for that. So as with everything in this area, which is in a way a very serious area, and at the same time, we don't have the professionals. So this is, as it is a sensitive topic, please use the knowledge of Egyenlítő's experts. And with the foundation, we can train ourselves and you can train your company's people and use the network of Egyenlítő and the expert network of us. So thank you for your attention.